Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me, I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I was chosen by that man, you know y'all just been running game. The nerve of you acting like I ain't.
Peace, family, and welcome back to the Campaign TV show. I'm your host, Brother King Cam, and I'm thankful to have everybody tuning in, family. Thankful to have everybody tuning in tonight as we discuss one of the most relevant topics that's happening in our community today. So first, what I need everybody to do is I need you to smash that like button. I need you to hit the subscribe button, and I need you to hit that bell so you can stay notified each and every time we drop a video, family. That's what I need everybody to do. Wa alaikum salam, Sister Menin, love. There we go. Had to get it right. All right, so but peace to the family. Peace to the family. So y'all see what the title is. And we're gonna be discussing it. You know, we're gonna be talking about why people are really upset. Kanye a couple of days ago was at his fashion season 9 for his fashion line, and him and Candace Parker decided that they was gonna wear shirts that said White Lives Matter. They decided they was going to wear shirts that said White Lives Matter. And once they did that, it was over with. The internet crashed. And, you know, at this point, we are trading Candace and Kanye from the black delegation to the white delegation in exchange for somebody else. This is what I've been seeing on Twitter. It's what I've been seeing on social media. So, you know, all for what happened with the White Lives Matter shirt. So we're going to be discussing it and really just going in some depth. I want to hear your thoughts. So make sure that you tap in via the comment section. Thank you, Sister Love. Always making sure that she is live and present, subscribing, and make sure that she's supporting the podcast. So if you would like to get direct communication via text message, you can text the word podcast to 404-737-1030. At the bottom of the screen, you see it scrolling. Text the word podcast to 404-737-1030. You'll get direct links. We can have direct dialogue as well. And just a lot of different things that you get via the text thread that you don't get if you're not on the text thread as it pertains to the podcast. So you make sure you want to do that. And also, I want to discuss reparations, right? We're going to be discussing reparations and what's been going on lately in the movement. I've been really active on Twitter, getting in the spaces. I've been really active on Twitter, getting in those spaces and really hearing what the conversation is. And I'm just keeping it 100. I haven't always been keeping my ear to what has been going on these rooms and in these spaces because I was, just in the zone, right? We do the work every day, you know what I mean? So, and a lot of it's offline, but these discussions are taking place. And as the years have passed, more and more conversations on reparations has been a thing. So it's really exploded on Twitter the last, I want to say like 2 years, really, especially with the invention of Twitter Space to combat what Clubhouse was doing. So now you have the ability to be audio on Twitter. It's really, really taking off. So the reparations discussion, the movement has a lot of interesting conversations. So we're going to talk about that. And then also I have my networking event coming up for my birthday. So shout out to me. Shout out to me for your it's your boy birthday coming up. And I'm going to be hosting a networking event here in Atlanta, Georgia. And let me pull that up too so we can have an opportunity to see that. you can have an opportunity to purchase tickets and be involved as well if you in the Atlanta area, or you want to travel and just tap in, have the opportunity to sit with me and some other entrepreneurs who are successful in the lanes of real estate as well as social media marketing and branding, and have an opportunity to break bread, tap in, network, and things like that. So before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and drop this track, one of my favorite tracks, not a diss track, but this track from my brother Ben X, called 400 Years. And then after that, we're going to jump right into the show. All right?
Stop the cap.
Oh, I always do that. I always do that, family. I get the buttons mixed up sometime on the board, so I do that. But here go the song for real.
You don't tell the white man that you're willing to go back and cut no underbrush. We already did that once. If we have to do it again, that's not progress. Hell no. Get out of the cities and the towns that we helped you build. Go and find some other state to move in. You move out, we move in. Now wait a minute. You say, oh, come on, Farrakhan, that's a pipe dream. Well, damn, you better put it in your pipe then.
400 years we've been lacking reacting. Ain't no more lacking we acting. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reacting. Ain't no more lacking we acting. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. The youth don't need a stunt double. Introduce them to the real thing. Gotta tell them about the hidden hand. Real talk, that's the real bang. Introduce you to the white man. Think you made it, that's the real pain. Then I let you see a white snake and you can't see they the same thing. Get your bread, yeah, build your business. Hidden hand in the same lane. Keep a slaves in a small cell. Tell a young nigga bang bang. Shoot first, ask questions later. Two brothers in the same game. Fuck that like fuck crack. Big dog like a Great Dane. 400 years we've been lacking reacting. Ain't no more lacking we acting. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reacting. Ain't no more lacking we acting. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years in a living hell. Break chains, gotta break free. Do for self like Elijah said. Fire him before he fire me. Eat good, he the man of God. Ain't falling for the vaccine. Up late, playing, plotting freedom. Still building, no caffeine. Better tune in to Farrakhan, cause this here is a marathon. Build now, getting real now. Witness the fall of Babylon. Black man, you the first man. Getting tricked by mankind. If we unite and rise up, we'll win every damn time. 400 years we've been lacking reacting. Ain't no more lacking we acting. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reacting. Ain't no more lacking we acting. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping.
Pay me for my pain, yeah, pay me for my tears. Pay me reparations for all 400 years. All my people struggled and all my people feel. And now we come and taking everything while we give it some.
Yeah, family, make sure you tap in and follow my brother Ben X. You can get that if you click the link in his bio on Instagram. His music and all of that stuff is available for those who want to go ahead and purchase that. That's called 400 Years. Got some other new music out as well, so make sure you stay tapped in. But like I was saying, October the 22nd is the Social Exchange, my 33rd birthday private dinner and networking event. So I want to drop that on y'all real quick so y'all can see that. Y'all see that? I done made this the whole screen, bro. That was not what I was trying to do. But do y'all see that? Hold up. I done messed up. I done made this the background. Oh, man. All right, hold up. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that was the flyer, but it wasn't supposed to come in hot like that. That wasn't what we was trying to do. New animated overlay, new image overlay. So I want to bring the flyer up though, so y'all have an opportunity to see it. That's not how that was supposed to go. All right. So look, we'll do it like this. That's crazy. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. But anyway, so if you in Atlanta or and you close to Atlanta and you want to come out and you want to support, you looking to grow your business, you looking to grow your network, things like that, then you want to be a part of this event. You want to be a part of this event because it's definitely going to be something I believe is very beneficial. You know, what a lot of entrepreneurs don't do is get out of the network. A lot of entrepreneurs don't get out of network. They don't get out. They don't talk to people. They don't let people know that they in business. So when you don't let people know that you in business, how you expect for people to know that you're in business and for people to patronize your business? So that's half the battle, is getting outside, getting uncomfortable, talking to different people, right? Letting people know what you got going on, letting people know what they expect and all of that kind of stuff, right? All right, here we go. Letting people know what's happening, all of that stuff, right? So look, here it go right here on the screen. As you can see, we're going to put it over here. But October the 22nd is my birthday. My birthday is actually October 17th. Let me clear that. My birthday is actually October 17th, but we're doing the event on the 22nd, okay? So my birthday is October the 17th, but we're doing the event on the 22nd. And it's my 33rd, family. It's my 33rd, and it's a private birthday dinner and networking event. It's called the Social Exchange. So if you are interested in purchasing a ticket, because there's a few left, it's only maybe 5 left, honestly. It's probably 5 tickets left. I got to double check tonight, but it's probably about 5 tickets left. But if you're interested in grabbing one of those, then you can text the word birthday to 404-737-1030. Text the word birthday to 404-737-1030. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a link to purchase the ticket. And you'll be on the text thread to receive the address for the dinner a couple of days before the event. All right. So that's how we doing with that. But it's called the Social Exchange. It's for my 33rd birthday networking event, private dinner and networking event. So we're going to eat, we're going to chop it up, we're going to have a Q&A, so you'll be able to talk to some of the other entrepreneurs that I have who have proven methods of making money, as far as real estate and social media marketing and branding. So it's going to be really dope. You have an opportunity to talk with them. And then again, you'll be able to mingle, mix, mingle. You'll be able to network. Hey, tell people to follow you on the gram. Show people what you up to, what your work is, all that beautiful stuff you'll be able to do at this event. And I think this is important because as entrepreneurs, that's one of the things that we don't do enough that I see is getting out and networking and letting people know what you got going on, how they can help, how they can be a part of it, and all of that beautiful stuff. Marketing is so important, and networking is part of marketing. Networking is part of marketing. So that means you have to get out your comfort zone. You have to get outside. You have to get out of that friends and family circle of yours pushing the product, because that's not going to be enough. You have to get out and start talking to other people who may be your target audience. If you're not talking to your target audience or people who may be interested in your product or people who actually have the problem that your product or service solves, then they're not going to be interested. All right. So that's what the Social Exchange is about. I'm curating a space to have entrepreneurs come together to be able to network with other people so that they can expand their brand awareness. That's what the Social Exchange is about, family. So if you are interested in the area, October 22nd is going down. Now, also, see, we getting our sponsor game up. We getting our advertisement game up. We getting our sponsor game up. We getting our advertisement game up as well. I want to talk about this water right here. All right. I want to talk about this water right here. This is very important. Very key. All right. So shout out to Live Alkaline Water. That's what this is right here. This is Live Alkaline Water bottled at the source by Vision Bottling Company in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. This is black-owned water, family. This is black-owned water right here. And as you can see, mine is cold because I just got it out the refrigerator. But what this is alkaline-based water. It even got instructions on it. It tells you to drink cold, preferably half of your body weight or at least 64 ounces a day. Exercise to allow oxygen in water to circulate through your cells, ridding the body of free radicals that feeds diseases. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our people educated. We know that everybody's interested and motivated to, live healthy, and to be able to extend this life. And as you know, in the Nation of Islam, we teach hard about how to eat to live, books 1 and 2. Not how to eat to die, not how to eat to stay fly for the gram, not how to eat to make sure you got dope pictures for the gram, but how to eat to live. So in the process of that, we also got to think about the water that we consuming. So live alkaline water. Make sure you shout out to tap in with my brothers, Soul Society North Carolina, Soul Society NC on Instagram. They'll get you straight. You can order these individually. They go to a bunch of different events throughout the South. They're in Atlanta a lot. They're in North Carolina, obviously locally. And they have a spring. They have a real spring. This comes out of the mountains, family. This comes out of the mountains that they get this water from, and they bottle it up, and they go to different events, especially in Atlanta. So you can buy the water there, catch them at a different event, or you can order in bulk, and they'll send you a whole case of these alkaline water. See, and you want to get this, and throw this away. All right, you want to get this and throw this away. All right, no more of the Krogers. Now I know a lot of us got Krogers. You know what I'm saying? But we got to step our game up, because this is not what you want to be reading on your bottle. You don't want to hear processed by advanced filtration, ozone, and reverse osmosis technologies. That's technically bad. Now, Soul Society NC, they'll be able to give you more information as it pertains to the waters and why you want to go this instead of this. But this right here, letting you know, is alkaline based, and that's what's in the body for all of my Dr. Sebi followers out there. All right. So that was our quick commercial advertisement breaks right there. Wanted to get that out the way, family. Now let's get to Yeezy. Gots to get to Yeezy. All right. So obviously, as we know Kanye stated over the weekend, doing his fashion show, season 9, brother decided, him and Candace Owens decided that they was going to rock White Lives Matter shirts. All right. The whole internet is in trouble. And when I mean in trouble, what I'm saying is they got Candace Owens and they have Kanye in their crosshairs. And they talking about canceling. They trying to figure out what's going on. It was even news articles that wrote like Kanye was like tripping. Like, and this was like New York Times type stuff. Like, why they, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why do they care? Why do they care what Kanye said? Like, these big news outlets. But like, soon as he wore the White Lives Matter shirt, they were saying that he was like pushing division. Like, so I'm going to pull up the article so we able to see exactly what they was doing. Right. Oh, wow. I didn't even see this. Article. I didn't even see this. Wow. They said that Herschel Walker, this is the Washington Post, says Herschel Walker and Kanye West in the politics of toxic black men. Why did I know this was going this direction? Because we haven't even talked about the Draymond Green. And what I'm seeing a lot of this recently, is black male aggression being narrated as toxic masculinity. I see that is what's happening right now. I see that is what's happening right now. So look, hold on, let me show y'all because y'all can't even see it. I can't even see it right this second. But you can kind of forecast how they gonna do this stuff as you watch the media come out, because you got to think, you got the whole black community out against Kanye right now. So nobody cares about Herschel. We will trade Herschel for sure, but everybody's at Kanye head right now. Now they're putting out articles about there being toxic masculinity. Look, that's not. Come on. We won't tuck. Hold on. Here we go. All right. So y'all see the article, right? Let me know in the comment section if y'all see the article. Let me know. All right. Sister Love says she see it. All right. Praises belong to Allah. All right. She can see it. Who else can see it? Let me know in the comment section if you can see the article. Let me know if you can see the article. Need to know if y'all can see it. If y'all can see it, then I know we good to go. All right, let's see. Y'all gotta let me know. Let me know. All right. Okay, cool. I think y'all can see it. If y'all can't see it, we're gonna move on with the show, because we ain't got all day. All right. And see, these Washington Post, they always be trying to get you to sign up for their thing, for their subscription thing, so in order for you to even read the articles. But this is what they said. Columnist. It would be a black girl. They would have the black columnist write this article. Kanye West, Herschel Walker, and the politics of toxic black men. Y'all got to watch out, brothers. You got to watch out, because there's a narrative going on throughout corporate America of toxic black men who are men who speak how they feel, men who speak truth to power, and men who don't go along with the far left liberal ideas pushed heavily by the Democratic Party. Brothers that have more of a conservative view, they push a lot of this quote unquote toxicity around. Now, first of all, we're not defending anything Herschel Walker talking about. Nothing. The brother got himself hemmed up. He shouldn't have even been married to the white girl. You see the white girl in the commercial, they keep running over and over and over. This is why the minister said to leave them people alone. This is why you shouldn't be marrying them. You need to leave the KV alone. But Herschel wanted to go mess with the KV. Now it's backfiring on him, because he want to go and get into politics now. Herschel, you should have known they was going to dig up everything in your past, brother. You should have known that. You should have known they was going to dig up everything in your past. But look, America seems to love tragic, toxic black men. See, here they go. Right off the bat. This week, the dusty behavior of two of them in particular provides a sad look into the way that toxic masculinity gets rewarded in this country. I knew she was going there. And this is why I made that statement on my Facebook page earlier today about brothers standing up and standing on truth. Because what's happening in corporate America, and what's happening specifically in these democratically driven, liberal-minded individuals on social media, they think they got a big mic. They think they got a big mic, and they want to talk down on any man who's standing up on truth and standing up on what he believes in, which goes against the mainstream media narrative. So we get called dusty. Not we, because she ain't talking to me. But they get called dusty. And then they lump you into toxic masculinity category. And I'm pretty sure some women probably feel the same way about me. They just ain't saying nothing. So, Exhibit A, Kanye West. I first started paying attention to West because of his 2004 album, College Dropout. That was back when Kanye was one of the conscious rappers who made it into the mainstream. One of his hit songs, All Falls Down, took aim at the dangers of consumerism for black people, along with the perils of aiming for whiteness. He rapped And for that paper, look how low we'll stoop. Even if you in the Benz, you still a nigga in a coupe. We can say nigga on my show, but you still in a coupe, a nigga in a coupe. One of the classic bars of all time right there. I loved everything about that album and that song in particular. Looking back, however, West seems to have been foretelling his own tragic fall from what he once was. West has now reached the pinnacle of access to the white fashion world, something he begged for publicly and pathetically. Now he has made it. And so what does he go and do? During a surprise fashion show for his line Yeezy, West and conservative black provocateur Candace Owens wore shirts that said White Lives Matter. Some of the models also walked the runway in White Lives Matter shirts. West then proceeded to post Black Lives Matter was a scam on his Instagram, causing an online furor. Owens and West have this in common. They are black public figures in the business of providing a lot of shock but little substantive value. The stunts have been increasing in West's case, from his posing with President Donald Trump in a Make America Great Again hat to his pronouncing that slavery was a choice. He had cyber harassed ex-wife Kim Kardashian and aimed violent and menacing messages at Kardashian's ex Pete Davidson. When a black female editor at Vogue criticized his White Lives Matter shirt as violence on Instagram, West fired back, blasting her fashion choices on Instagram. The magazine issued a statement in her defense. Now, this is where the water get muddy. So let me back up a little bit. All right, because it's a lot. It was a lot, and I can't go through. We can't just skip past all of that. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna back up because number one, we want to address Kanye West saying White Lives Matter like that. I think that was like the initial thing that got everybody upset. Why would he say White Lives Matter? Why would he say that? Now, Kanye, in an interview with Tucker Carlson, actually stated why he said or wore the shirt that said White Lives Matter. So let's hear from Brother Kanye and why he decided to wear the shirt White Lives Matter. Because I think it's important for us to hear from the brother directly. Because what I didn't like was how people were making a judgment without talking to him first. Regardless of what he did, that's not the point. The point is, did you ask him first? It's almost, and the first thing that came to my mind was, it's like your child doing something and you condemning your child first before you ask them what happened. And it's crazy. Look, they talking about Herschel Walker in the article. Now they got the commercials with Herschel Walker. They dragging Herschel, bro. And they know how to cut up them clips and make you look crazy too. All right, let's get through these stupid commercials. All right, boom. All right, let's back up. Let's back up a little bit. And here we go. Open that thing up. Full screen me. Oh, hold up. Hold on, guys. All right, cool. Now, full screen me. Now, we're going to hear from Kanye why he decided to wear White Lives Matter on a shirt.
Great response, because I kept on thinking, like, people, they're looking for an explanation, and people say, well, as an artist, you don't have to give an explanation, but as a leader, you do.
Yes, I think that's right.
So the answer to why I wrote White Lives Matter on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Yeah. Why do you think that's so, and I assume the implication is, of course, all lives matter. Because
okay, so y'all heard from Kanye himself. You heard from Ye himself just now. He said that the reason why he wore White Lives Matter on his shirt or wrote that on the shirt is because obviously they do. Now, digesting, processing. Okay. From the emotional side of most people hearing Kanye West explain that, and the emotional side of people seeing him wear White Lives Matter, he offended a lot of black people. Now, there's a whole narrative going on. I gotta holler at my son about this, because my son is just extra right now. My son just being extra, right? Because the Black Lives Matter organization is different, as we know, than what the organizers of the organization is different from. Hold on. The Black Lives Matter organization and what Black Lives Matter originally started for, right? What was the core reason behind there even being a slogan that said Black Lives Matter, are two separate different things. We know now, and there are more receipts coming out, but people have been saying this for years, that the Black Lives Matter organization and movement was hijacked by liberals, was funded by George Soros, and those organizers of those different chapters, I know personally, because I've been in Twitter spaces with individuals who got Fed cases. Now, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know till it was exposed on the space that such and such had a Fed case because they was the head of a Black Lives Matter chapter in Atlanta, the head of a Black Lives Matter chapter in another city, head of a Black Lives Matter chapter in another city. So we know that these people and this organization was seeping in funds, was getting all this funding from people who were moved by what the original Black Lives Matter slogan was for, was because of the unwarranted and unjustified police killings of so many black men and black women in America. And the police officers were going to court and were getting off. These people were going to court and they was being acquitted. These people were going to court and they were not receiving any type of penalty or punishment for their actions, even though we got them on camera. We got them on camera killing somebody. But some kind of way, they was able to be found not guilty. So out of that anger, out of that passion, out of us having to witness our brother George Floyd murdered, came out of that was the Black Lives Matter slogan. But then there were individuals who came behind that and created an organization. There were people behind that said, hey, this is a money grab. Hey, this is an opportunity for us to rake in some money. So they raked in some money. And then we know now that a lot of those people and organizers buying mansions, doing all type of stuff with the money, except helping black people in our community, helping the families who of the aggrieved. We know this. We know some of the slain's mother, like Tamir Rice, and I believe who else? Breonna Taylor, and other people who are the parents and family of those who were actually killed unjustly by the police, said we don't mess with Black Lives Matter like that. The organization, because they always knew that they was a fraud. So from that standpoint, my son, we know what that is. Kanye is not wrong saying that Black Lives Matter is a fraud. Talking about the organization, those organizers who hoodwinked, bamboozled the people out of their money. That's a real thing. So we can't like muddy the water and try to say and try to tie in the original meaning of Black Lives Matter and what that was brought into existence on the heels of, right? And tie that to the organization and say that it's all one and the same. And when Kanye says that Black Lives Matter was a scam, that we try to tie that in like that, bro. Now, that's not cool, because we would have to assume that Kanye believes that they one and the same. And unless somebody asks the brother that, then you can't assume that. You should say, well, are you talking about the organization or are you talking about the initial slogan, the initial phrase, and why that came into existence? That would be a better way to frame that. But to try to put it like brother is intentionally doing that, you got to ask that question first. I'm talking about having deliberative dialogue. Now, if we want to get on social media and just be upset and angry and be emotional and speak to the emotions and feed that, then that's something different. And we can see that too. We can see that too. But that's not what leaders have to do. My son, you a leader, bro. You a leader. You got people that follow you. And we know the connection and the partnership that you have with our sister Tamika Mallory, right? Until Freedom, all of that stuff. So you a leader, bro. So we got to be more mindful when we addressing situations. We just have to be more methodical. We got to be more mathematical in our response before we get on social media and we start putting out propaganda. We start putting out responses and reactions to certain things before we have a full scope and full knowledge. This is why I'm so thankful for the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because in the nation of Islam, we don't move unless we have actual facts. That's why when you see my video pertaining to Kanye, I didn't give a solid perspective or a stance. I asked some questions. And I agree with the fact that the overall understanding and census was that Kanye West offended black people. But what I said was he offended some black people because there's some people who wasn't offended by what Kanye West wore or by his explanation of why he did it. Everybody's not offended by that. And this whole thing about, people who are trying to rationalize what Kanye West said or what's bad for the country. I seen that on social media. Again, that's just emotions talking. So as somebody who has influence, you have to be a mathematical, logical thinker. You can't be emotional. You can't be in leadership and be emotional, family. And for all the aspiring leaders out there, you want to lead your organization, you want to lead your church, you want to be a leader in the mosque, you going to lead out there on that community activist front, even being a leader at your job. You can't be in leadership and be emotional. So the minister has given us study guides, one in particular called Rising Above Emotion, study guide number 18. Into what? The thinking of God. Because if God got emotional the same way my son was, the same way that Boosie was, the same way that everybody else was, as it pertains to this whole situation, then we've been done with a long time ago. God would have canceled us all out, because all of us is actively sinning. All of us is not living in the path in which God has sent his messengers and his prophets to put us back on. That's a whole nother situation. But the fact of the matter is, God could have been through with you a whole long time ago, just off emotions. Because we real disrespectful to the God that makes sure that you wake up each and every morning. We real disrespectful to the God that breathed life into you so that you can get up and you can get on social media and you got a platform that blessed you with your gifts, that gave you your talents, that gave you your ability to speak, that gave you your ability to organize. See, we real disrespectful to the Creator and the Lord of all the worlds, but he don't get upset with you like that. But we'll get upset with our people and be ready to throw our people away, because we don't control and understand how to rise above our emotions into the thinking of God. Okay, that was him. I want to react to that because but wait a second. I got to see how the whole scope play out. I got to see how the whole thing play out first. I know it's rough. You don't understand how many times I want to just get on and blast somebody. They say something, I'm on it. First thing that pop in my head. But when you got influence, you can't operate like that all the time. You got to sit back and watch the whole thing play out. This is why the minister is so masterful. He's a master teacher, because you don't see the minister coming out speaking on everything that jump off within the community, everything that jump off even in world politics and world news. The minister sit back. He watching the whole thing play out. Watching how everything play out, how it's going to go. And as it comes into fruition, you come to find and you come to understand certain things that you didn't know in the beginning. And you see a lot of these people that get online and be talking, they end up doing like 2 and 3 and 4 videos on something because new information that came out. They done had one stance in the beginning and they done had to walk it back. And now they got a whole nother stance by the third video. All because they couldn't wait, because we so anxious for likes and we so anxious for views and we so entitled with our opinion that we got to be the first one to get it out there. So circling the wagon, bringing it all the way back. As leaders and people with influence, we can't be emotional. We can't be logical. So I'm asking my son to watch this whole thing and put the whole thing into context, because brother been out there on the social media streets going in. You understand what I'm saying? Now, would I have wore a White Lives Matter shirt? Hell no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I'm just saying, and I don't agree with Kanye wearing it. I'm just saying, is it possible that we can understand what the brother was thinking about when he did it? Could we understand what he was trying to do with that? And that's why I posed the question in the video that I put out. Is what Kanye did offensive to the black community for wearing a White Lives Matter shirt when white men and women of influence wore Black Lives Matter shirts? Because Kanye said that his reason for wearing the shirt was because they do, obviously. Now, none of us state otherwise, obviously. But what people have a problem with is, on that side, they don't have unjust police killings. On that side, people not being killed and profiled and harassed by the police just because of the color of your skin. We don't have no white Philando Castiles, no white Tamir Rices or Michael Browns or Trayvon Martin. We don't got the white version of that. You know, I'm just walking through my neighborhood on the way home from the store with my Skittles and everything like that, running to this security guard, end up dying. You know, Tamir Rice at the park playing, somebody call the police on him. They run up, shoot him down. They don't ask no questions. You understand me? Walter Scott running away from the police, get shot in the back. Breonna Taylor at home in her bed. The police come to her house, shoot her dead. We still don't know the full story of what happened with Sandra Bland. Huh? See, we got all these different instances. Ahmaud Arbery running through his community, get killed not by the police, but by white men. Eric Gardner choked out by the police, just with Lucy cigarettes on the block, not bothering nobody. George Floyd choked out. Broad day, Minnesota. Like, we got all these continuous occurrences of violence being perpetuated against black people, mostly black men, taking it all the way back to Sean Bell, who was shot, I believe, 50, 60, 70 times because they mistaken his cell phone for a gun, or his wallet. It was either his wallet or a cell phone. They mistaken for a gun. What's my man that died in the subway station in LA? Oscar Grant, killed by the police. See, so it's just constant. It's constant. I can rattle off these names. Freddie Gray. We can rattle off these names, family. And this is real talk. So those who are upset with Kanye for saying White Lives Matter, not taking into consideration all of the names that I mentioned, are upset, justifiably so. Because understanding that this brother should know these things if you are living in this world. So that's justifiable. But on the other side of that coin, we also understand that technically, that him rocking the shirt of White Lives Matter is symbolically the same as white people wearing the shirt as well, which we and some people said the same thing. Well, it's no point in having a Black Lives Matter shirt because we know Black Lives Matter, obviously, right? Like that's not anything that we have to say. We know that Black Lives Matter, even though the police seem to have a problem. They seem to have an addiction. They seem to have an inclination to want to kill black people, which is something that is in their history. Being perfectly honest, if you're a student of history, if you go back through the annals of history, you go back through the timeline, right? You go back to when you first landed here on Plymouth Rock, when you first got through here. See, once they kidnapped you out of Africa and brought you here, we already know what was going on the plantations, the murder, the rape, see, the pillaging, see, the total disregard for human life. We know that was happening on the plantation, but then you get free. They let you go out the plantation, and then shortly after Reconstruction, when they see black people getting their stuff together, you got your Greenwoods and your Tulsa, Oklahomas, and you doing better without white people. Then here they come, night riders on that pale horse. The minister taught on that pale horse. See, the scripture said that the rider of the pale horse is death. So the white man comes in riding that pale horse, and he's death. And what did he bring to Tulsa, Oklahoma? He brought death. What did he bring to all of the other independent black towns? They brought death. What did they have? Sundown towns, meaning that if any black person was caught in that town after the sun went down, you was going to die. They was going to hang you. It's so many unrecorded hangings and lynchings that are unaccounted for. We can't go off the number that we know, because what about all the ones that we didn't know? This type of stuff was ritualistic. They used to hang people publicly, hang black people, black men, specifically publicly on Sunday, the Lord's Day. They used to hang people publicly on Sunday, the Lord's Day, and had like a public gathering. This is all recorded history. So when you see what's going on and what the police doing, this is what they do. It's in their nature. That's why you got to be careful. You can't be hanging out with the KV like that, because they inclined to do some killing, and they like to kill black flesh. It's really sadistic. So they got some mental stuff going on. You understand? So this is why I think the better approach to a situation like this with Kanye is on education. I think education is very important, because we assume that a lot of these entertainers know what we know, but that's not necessarily the case. I'm not making no excuse for Kanye. I think Kanye got to sit at the table with Lizzo. I think Kanye got to be in timeout for a little bit, because he riled up the black community, and just off the strength he riled up the black community, he got to go sit down. Just because you don't rile them up like that, family. You don't do that to the family. You don't do that, yay. You can't push their button like that. That's just like you knowing that your grandma get hot when you change her stories. Y'all know y'all had a grandma, and y'all grandma, when she watching her soaps, she don't want nobody touching the TV. She don't want nobody touching the channel, nothing while her soaps is going on. You know, if you come in there and you touch them soaps, she gonna go off. You know this. So if you do it on purpose, that's not funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. Don't do that to your grandma. All right? Don't do that. So Kanye, brother, you can't do that to the community. You can't do that to the family. You know stuff like this gonna get them riled up. You know we overly sensitive. You know Badu said she's sensitive about her stuff. We sensitive about stuff that go on in our community. Especially Kanye, because we have the rising of consciousness coming up among the youth. And see, you have a heavy influence over the youth. So the things that you do, they gonna think it's okay. So because, brother, I think your thinking is so eccentric at sometimes that it's over a lot of heads. And we can't be over the heads of the people in a time like this, because we got to be straightforward, right down to the modern times, quick thinking, fast moving, straight talk, as the Quran says. We don't have time to give no high level, you know what I'm saying? We don't have time to go over the top like that. We got to give them straightforward truth so that they can know what's happening. So you operating in a dangerous area, easy. When you do that and you send mixed messages to people who not able to decipher what it is that you trying to do. That's where you run into an issue. That's where you get hung up on. See, y'all thought I was going to come on here and just be waving the Kanye West flag, the Yeezus flag, and I wasn't going to give my brother no correction. No, you have to be able to see things in a full scope. And when you see things in a full scope, then you're able to deal with it properly. That's all this is. So we just having a fireside chat with the family and we just dealing with some stuff. You understand me? No harm, no foul. But we got to have this reconciliation. So, Yeezy, yay. My brother, you can't be doing that. You can't rile up the family like that. You see what I'm saying? They got us sweating and got us high blood pressure, got my heart rate up because you wanted to do that. And then you knew that when you did it with Candace, she was going to set him off even more. Now, I don't agree with everything Sister Candace said. I'm going to just put the record straight like this. I don't agree with nothing nobody said 100% of the time if it's not the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. If it ain't him or the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, then no, I don't agree with what you say 100% of the time. Them I agree with 100%. That's just let you know how I think. What they say, that's what it is. I don't have no pushback. I agree. Everybody else, not so much. You ain't got that type of juice. So, with Candace, I don't agree. You know, Candace be saying some crazy stuff too. So, you know, yay, when you teamed up with Candace on this, it was going to blow the top off. The White Lives Matter was a lot, but Candace blew the top off. Some people in the black community probably had a stroke nearly. They daggone near had a stroke, bro. You stroked some people out, bro. You gave some people gray hair after this. You and Candace are responsible for new gray hairs and beards and deep in the roots in the black community. You're responsible for that, fam. You're responsible for that. All right? So we got to understand the time in which we living in. But for the family who did not watch the whole Kanye West interview, he highlighted and addressed a lot of different things. So he used the shock factor, right, to get your attention. But then in the interview he had with Tucker Carlson, he got heavy. In that interview. Talked about some different things with Kim Kardashian. And now, you know, a lot of people, like in that New York Times article, they want to talk about how, you know, he early in his career, he talked about certain things that he was conscious. And then he goes and he marries Kim Kardashian. He does all this kind of stuff. The problem I have with that is even if you are correct, he is still on his journey. He's still growing, just like you growing. So the brother may know certain things, but as he go throughout his journey, he experienced certain things to help him now be able to testify of certain things. He may have been speaking from a place of knowing, right? But he hadn't experienced it. So when you couple the know or the knowledge with the experience, now you have what is called wisdom. So now Kanye can speak into that situation a way that he couldn't have spoken into it if he had not gone through what he gone through with marrying Kim Kardashian, being exposed to the people that they sit at the table with, the inside conversations, all of that type of stuff. See, because we have to remember that we're not the authors of this in its entirety. The Lord of the worlds, the God, is taking you through these stages for a particular purpose. He's taking you through certain experiences so that you will be equipped to operate. If you submit to him, you'll be able to operate in a way that shows forth his glory. And you'll be able to speak from an area of not speculation. See? But from an area of conviction because of the wisdom you gain from your experience. That's just real talk. That's just real talk. So let's be slow to get on people as they going through their journey, because Kanye isn't finished yet. Just like the God not finished with you yet. He ain't finished with me yet. So we gonna make mistakes. I'm here to tell you right now, I'm gonna make some mistakes. I'm not mistake free. I'm gonna make some mistakes. I done made some mistakes. I done been to jail. I done got felonies. I done did all that kind of stuff. So don't be looking this way, thinking that your brother perfect and I ain't never did nothing. You ain't gonna see my name in no public records nowhere. If you got my real name, no, it's all there. It's all there, family. Just to let you know, because you're gonna find out anyway. That's why I'm trying to figure out how Herschel get caught up. Too many hits to the head. He forgot. Go into public life, bro. They're gonna pull out all your records. So you're gonna find out anyway. So I'm gonna let you know. You type my name up, Google search me, my government, yeah, you're gonna find all that. You're gonna find all the wild driving tickets, the speeding joints. Yeah. You're gonna find all that. Whole criminal record lined up in there. Yep. This felony, that felony, bing, bing, bing. Yep. Real talk. It's old though. 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Old stuff. But I'm just saying, because they pull up your tweets from 10 years ago, so they damn sure don't have no issues. Just like Malika Andrews. Pull up that man, the new Celtics intern coach, pull up his arrest record from college and want to mention that as she's introducing his bio to the world as he taking the job in between what Ime Udoka is doing as far as his suspension, his 1 year suspension from the Boston Celtics. See? So they'll bring your pass up on you quick. So I'm going to let you know now. You ain't going to never be able to say that you ain't know unless you ain't seen the show. But I got the evidence right here. So, anyway. So getting back to this article, though. Again, they trying to switch this whole thing out and turn this on the brothers. So we have to, again, as the minister taught us, the study got 18, rise above emotion into the thinking of God, because this whole Donald Trump situation and Kanye meeting with Donald Trump, you got to think back at that time, Kanye wasn't the only one meeting with Donald Trump. Ice Cube was trying to sit with him. Steve Harvey was trying to sit with him. Multiple people were trying to sit with Donald Trump. Why? Because he was a breath of fresh air as it pertains to the political agenda. You know, we didn't have nobody like him, a business person, ever in the position as a candidate for president and actually winning the presidency. But look how they treated Ice Cube. Ice Cube said, man, look, the Democrats ain't giving us nothing. They never gave us anything. We're going to go sit down and talk with the Republicans, see what they talking about. We're going to give them a shot. Man, them sisters on Fox Soul wore Ice Cube out, Vivica and the crew. They wore Ice Cube out. Why? Because he just wanted to sit down and have a conversation? They got on Steve Harvey too because he wanted to sit down and have a conversation? Like, how are you, and you see this with a lot of heavy leftist, liberal-minded individuals who coined the phrase toxic masculinity and who want to try to tell you who your friends are and who you can talk to and who you can sit with. See, you see this the mindset? Now, I don't know Malika Andrews' political affiliation, if any, but she got that same tendency. As you see how she deal with brothers on ESPN. And what the problem is, family, let me tell you what the real is. See, this is the real. What the left is doing is they're appeasing our black sisters. See, they appease the black woman. You know, they rewarding the black woman for being the head of the household. They reward the black woman for voting Democrat. They reward the black woman for, you know, pushing that ideology. You understand me? And in return, she is on the front line for white supremacy, who is demonizing the black man. So the white man don't have to do it because he gonna use the black woman to do it. So guess who beat up Ice Cube? It wasn't white people that beat up Ice Cube. It was black women that beat up Ice Cube. Guess who beat up Kevin Samuels? It wasn't white men that beat up Kevin Samuels. It was black women that beat up Kevin Samuels. Not saying that Kevin Samuels was working on behalf of the community on the political side. But I'm just saying, anytime you have a black man who stands up and speaks conservative truths and stands on it, the first people out the gate is black women. Who on Kanye right now? A lot of black women on Kanye head. A lot of black women on Kanye head. In this Washington Post article, a black woman. So sisters, we can't allow the enemy to tell you about us and the way we think. No, that's why you gotta see when somebody brings you news, huh? You gotta look carefully into it. That's what the Quran says. See, when somebody bring you some information, you gotta look carefully into it. Not look at it and then go off what you see. No, look carefully into it. That's the language. Look carefully into it. Why do you have to look carefully into it? Because the person who brought it to you could possibly have an agenda. You know, that's how they got all up into the Black Panther Party. That's how they got all up into the Nation of Islam back in the 60s. They would take messages and send messages. The FBI would send messages up into leadership. And nobody in leadership looked carefully into where these messages came from. But they took the messages and it started mischief and strife amongst the leadership. So now you done took the message that some random them gave you, and now you going at your brother, going at your sister. Now the leadership at odds. So now Satan can slide on up in there, all up and through there, get all the information, get all his intel on what y'all got going on, find out what the financials look like, find out who beefing with who, and use all of that to continue to keep up the fighting and ultimately bring you down from the inside. That's real. That's real. That's why you have to look carefully into it. So sisters, you got to be careful what this white demon is feeding you and telling you about your black man. Because that's what's happening. So in this article, like this sister's highlighting, she calling, being with Donald Trump a stunt and all that. No, just because you sat with him and talked with him took a picture with him don't mean that y'all buddy. But as civilized people, you have to be able to have deliberative dialogue and you have to be able to negotiate. That's what happens in negotiations. You sit down at the table, you have constructive conversation back and forth until we can get to a meeting place. And in order to do that, you have to have dialogue. You're not going to be able to enter negotiations and you refuse to have dialogue. But a lot of these people, black women and black men, refuse to have dialogue with Donald Trump. So how do you expect to ever achieve the goal if you refuse to have dialogue? So, that's really what that. We can go on and on and on, family. I'm about to shut it down though, because I wasn't gonna be on late tonight with this. Not going into nothing with Herschel Walker. But again, and then the spin with this Kanye thing is, again, one of the editors from Vogue criticized Kanye for wearing the White Lives Matter shirt as violence, which I don't understand where they get that from. But they did the same thing with Kevin Samuels. There was a petition going on with Kevin Samuels where people were saying that some of the things that he would say on his show was inciting violence against black women. And that was not true. But what happens is when you put that out there, now you can create a narrative, you can create an atmosphere for something bad to happen to these people. And they try to do the exact same thing with the minister. If you watch the interviews from the late 80s and the 90s, the minister on Donahue, they try to change your words and they try to cut up clips from different things that you say in the public, and they try to formulate ideas and narratives to try to say and paint a picture and an atmosphere around you. That's why when you see on the Donahue show, one of the viewers that was in the audience stood up and said, when the minister was teaching, And she was like, I hear violence. I hear violence. That's not coming from the minister's mouth. That's because her mind had already been socially engineered to hear violence coming from a black man standing up teaching truth. That's just real. I'm going to say it again. If you watch the Donahue interview, there was a person in the audience as the minister had finished speaking, and she stood up and she said that all she heard was violence. All she could hear was violence coming from the minister. And that's not what the minister had coming through him, was violence. But her mind had already been socially engineered to hear violence anytime a black man stood up, stood strong, and spoke the truth. Anytime you stand up, stand strong, speak the truth, white people have been socially engineered to see that as violence. Why? Because the only non-threatening black man is a non-violent one, a non-aggressive one. When men in general are naturally aggressive. Naturally. But America loves a docile black man. See, that's what the Negro was. That's why they don't tell you about the 64 years of hidden history. I'm getting ready to get off here. But this is why they don't tell you about the 64 years of hidden history that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. That's why they say that the first slaves were brought here in 1619. When the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad corrected that and said, no, it was actually 1555. 1555 to 1619 is 64 years. In that 64 years was the manufacturing and the making of the docile Negro, of the slave. Because when you left up out of Africa, we was fighting on the shores, on the boat, on the way over in the transatlantic, right there on the ship. We tossing people off the ship. We fighting all the way through. Why? Because your native religion is Islam. Your nature is Islam. So you don't submit to nothing and no one but Allah. So when they came over there with that foolishness, you was with all the smoke. We was with all the smoke. So we was giving them hell from the shore all the way till they got to their destination. We was giving them hell. And even when we got there, we was giving them hell. So they said we had to completely destroy the black man. Take away his language, take away his religion, take away his God, take away his culture. He has to have zero identity, so he has nothing to feed on, nothing to lean on to give him power to stand up against us. I want you to hear what I'm saying. So these docile Negro leaders that the United States government gives you is part of their manufacturing system to keep you in line. And part of their social engineering is to paint pictures and narratives of the minds of the people that black men are dangerous. Black men are aggressive. This is how they're able to pass crime bills, Biden, that overly incarcerated black men. Why? Because white America was falsely fed a narrative of violent black men. And white America fell for it, and black America fell for it. Because you had black men and black women also championing that 94 crime bill to lock up black men. Now, if that's not some high science for you, from Satan himself, where he could take his idea and then have you to execute the idea for him, I don't know what to tell you. That's why you can't just be going out here doing anything and involving yourself in white supremacy, messing around with Satan, because Satan ain't no lightweight. See, the Caucasian ain't no lightweight to you. He a lightweight to God, but he ain't no lightweight to you. See, he's been the God of this world for the past 6,000 years. He's not no dummy. So when you get out here and you call yourself moving in the reparations movement and you're going to go do this and you're going to go do that, that's fine. All I'm saying is you need to make sure that you seek divine guidance, because God is the only one that's already predetermined the destruction of Satan. God is the one that's going to bring that into existence. He's the one that's going to raise up and going to give the spirit into men who are going to bring down the world of Satan. And it's specific men. Specifically, we got, like I said earlier, straight talk. He's giving the spirit to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They are made men for the job. Specific job is to bring down the world of Satan and to crush his power. Break his power. That's what the Christ means. That's what the meaning of Christ is the crusher of the wicked. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his chief student, his Aaron, Moses and the Aaron, right? Breaking the power of Satan. So that's why I be trying to tell y'all, you can do what you want to do. But if you don't go and get the divine guidance from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Messiah in our midst today, then Satan already got a trap ahead for you, and you're going to fall face first in it because you don't have the divine guidance that allow you to maneuver around it. That's all I be trying to help out. That's all I be trying to help the family out with. This ain't about the Nation of Islam being at the forefront, being the leader, doing all that. But you need to come and get some guidance. We have to work together so that we can be able to give each other what we have of value to help the situation. But if you're just going out here moving off of what you think you know and what somebody else done told you, again, you're not rising above emotion into the thinking of God. You being emotional. And then you do stupid stuff when you're emotional. And this is what we have. So this was heavy. I like this show. We was able to touch on a lot, family. We was able to touch on a lot. So look, let me know if this was valuable, if y'all enjoyed this. I think I enjoyed this. I need some water. So look, make sure that you get you some live alkaline on the way. Get you some live alkaline water, family. Support black-owned water. Live alkaline water. Soul Society NC on North Carolina. On Instagram. Reach out to them brothers. They can get you a box of these. You definitely want to get you some of these. And also, for those who are interested in coming to the social exchange, October the 22nd, then you definitely want to be in the building. I'm going to put the flyer up one more time. So you have an opportunity to check it out, because I would love to invite you, celebrating my 33rd birthday. And we want to bring and curate these spaces to allow for as many entrepreneurs to have an opportunity to network as possible, because that's extremely important when it comes to building business. And as y'all can see right here, the social exchange right here, my 33rd private birthday dinner and networking event. It's all black. It's an all black. All right. It's an all black. So make sure that y'all go get something that's going to make you look good in black. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you get everything good to go. For the all black, I need everybody to pull up. That's why I got my all black on right now, because that's the branding. That's how we repping this whole thing. We got the all black on deck. You feel me? For the networking private dinner. So make sure that you tapped in. And the weather changing, Sister Love. The weather changing, so you can hear it all up in the nasal. You can hear it all up in here. I have it every year. You understand me? So we just fighting this fight, but I have it every year. Every time the weather switch over from warm to cold. Y'all know how the weather is now. It's warm in the evening, cold in the morning. You need a jacket on in the morning. In the evening time, it's hot as hell. You sweating. You don't know if you want to put the AC on, the heat on, all that kind of stuff going on. People in my house like to sleep with fans. I can't sleep with fans, but they love to sleep with fans. So I be dealing with that on a nightly basis. So I be struggling in here. So y'all pray for your brother. Please keep your brother in constant prayer. Keep your brother in constant prayer. But in the meantime, you want to make sure that you are trying to get this. No, that ain't how you do it. How you do it? I was trying to point to the screen. Oh, there you go. There you go, right there. So look, anybody that's interested in There you go. In the social exchange, you see the flyer right here. And you can go ahead and you can text the word birthday to 404-737-1030. You'll automatically get the link so that you can go ahead and copy tickets. All right. You'll make sure that you get your tickets. All right. Make sure you get your tickets, family. You can do that. Sister Love said tonight was very beneficial and valuable. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We try to do that in all of the broadcasts that we put out, right? We want to make sure that we're beneficial and valuable. Again, the networking event is October the 22nd. The social exchange is an all-black event where I'm curating a space. I'm hosting a private dinner party for my birthday where I'm going to have some entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs come and talk to the people about their journey just a little bit. Do some Q&A, right? Talk about some social media marketing branding because, you know, that's what I specialize in. Then I got somebody coming that's going to talk about some real estate. We're going to have some other entrepreneurs in the house that do different things. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. You want to have an opportunity to grow your network, right? Because your network is your net worth. That's as simple as that. All right? So I appreciate y'all tuning in, family. Again, social exchange, October the 22nd. Make sure you get some of this alkaline water as well. Throw out that Kroger water that you got. You want to get this alkaline, Live Water, black-owned company, family. And, man, till next time. Oh, and we're going to be changing the time frame on the podcast, too. Because Tuesday nights is just not good for your brother anymore. I have some different things that have crept up in the schedule, so I think we're going to move it to Saturdays like we're doing now. But stay tuned. Those on the text list will get the updated information. All right. Those on the text list will get the updated information. Just stay tuned for that. But we're gonna be making some changes as far as the time and stuff is concerned. But other than that, man, I appreciate you all for tuning in, watching, tapping in, liking, subscribing, sharing, sending this out to any family members, anybody that may be interested in the conversation that we had tonight. Make sure you send that out. Appreciate you. And I leave you in the greeting words of peace, as we say it in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me, I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I was chosen by that man, you know y'all just been running game.